Alright, Pokemon TCG fans, Blue back again bringing you a fun deck today. So we're going to go ahead and call the coin flip. And as you can see from the coin, it is a Psychic deck. Let's go ahead and see if it's heads. Yeah, the coin seems lucky. So we'll go ahead and lead off. What we're bringing today is a rather older deck, but with the new expansions, it always gets new tools. And what I mean by that is none other than Mega Gengar. So with all the new Pokemon coming out, it has a lot of fun new attacks that it can take over and use as its own. We did end up getting a Mulligan, so let's hope on to draw to a Deoxys. That's what I'm hoping for. And there's the Mega Gengar, but still no basics, so that's probably as bad as it's gonna get. I'm sure we won't Mulligan again. Wow, completely similar hand. What is up with that? Alright, so we're going to lead off with a Gengar and a Deoxys. We are going first, so I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Deoxys and drop down Gengar. So let's see what we're going up against. Now the beauty of this deck is that it can just be a straight Gengar deck if it needs to be. Now it looks like we're going to be facing Lucario bats, so it's going to be a pretty easy matchup for us to say the least. So let's go ahead and play a few items. I do believe I'm going to be attacking with this Deoxys. That Overdrive Smash actually can do pretty good amount of damage after a while. This 90, 110 with the Muscle Band. And for only one Psychic Energy after Dimension Valley, it's a pretty good attack to have going. And if we do hit for weakness, it's going to be pretty good too. I'm going to opt for that Spare Link. Hopefully we can get a Mega Gengar going. But like I said, if it is a deck if we're facing a deck that really doesn't utilize, that we won't be able to utilize Mega Gengar's attack to be able to take other attacks, we'll just opt for going the regular Gengar route. And since we do also pair this deck with Wobbuffet, the good Wobble Gengar deck at its core, and we'll go ahead and play a Judge just to keep our opponent from having too big of a start. And we did draw into some pretty good things. Yeah, you know what, I'll go ahead and drop my Shaman since we didn't get an energy or a supporter. So we did get a supporter, not really what we were looking for, and I'll even hold off onto that Muscle Band for now, just in case my opponent does play a Starling Megaphone or something. We don't want to let him get rid of everything. So we just went ahead and used our close encounter, even though we did go first. That attack does let us use it on our first turn. So let's see if our opponent, and he's going to drop a Pokeball, an Ultra Ball. I believe he got rid of 2 bats for that, yeah. So he's definitely going to want to keep an eye out for a Sacred Ash. Probably get a Shaman or a Lucario. I believe it's Lucario bat from what it seems. Yep, my opponent went for the Shaman. Now I do want to play the Sycamore next turn, but I don't want to lose 2 stadiums. Hopefully my opponent ends up countering our stadium so that we can get rid of his as well. So my opponent dropped the Lucario, grabbing another Zubat. So he's got 2 bats going in the back, and he's gonna play a Birch. So Birch showing our opponent some love. And another bat comes down. Okay, so he definitely filled his bench up with bats. So the bites are gonna start coming. But my opponent can't really swing with that Hawlucha on us just yet. It didn't retreat either, so let's go ahead and see what we want to do. We can start attacking with Overdrive Smash, or even potentially the Gengar. You know what, let's go ahead and start attacking with Deoxys so that our opponent kind of sees it as a threat, and we won't do much else besides that. So let's go ahead and attack on that. Since it does have a strong energy on it, it can come in later potentially and do some real heavy damage. I mean, he'll probably opt to retreat it right now anyways. But once those Golbats start evolving, our opponent's going to drop pretty hefty amount of damage. I mean, he has a potential of 60, 20, 20, 20. If he evolves all his Golbats. He missed the first scoop, but went for the second one and got it. So he's going to scoop up the Shaman. Grab himself onto 2 more cards after he drops it. So he did end up countering our Stadium. So let's see if we can get a Sycamore off this turn. He's going to play a Gold VS. That's real nice. Grabbing himself another Birch. Alright, so Birch definitely having a good day today. Alright, so my opponent's going to switch into a Zubat instead of his Lucario. Okay, so he is kind of fearing that Overdrive Smash since he does have weakness on it. I mean, we're going to start knocking out anything. We drew an Ultra Ball, which is pretty good, but we don't really need too much. I mean, I can't really see anything. Let's go ahead and just counter his Stadium. And I really don't want to get rid of that one. That would be our third one, leaving us with one more. Let's go ahead and just drop an energy on our Gengar and proceed to knock out this Zubat. There it is, a whopping 110 for just 1 energy. Definitely an underwhelming card, it seems. Underrated a little bit, this Deoxys. Alright, my opponent is definitely getting that Lucario powered up, playing another Stadium of his, using a 3rd scoop up, I believe. And he got that one. Yep, there he's picking up the Shaman. But he has a full hand of 6, so he's going to drop a Hawlucha and then the Shaman, drawing 2 more cards. Alright, so there's the first bat coming down, first Golbat. I believe he's going to send in that Lucario now to knock me out. So my opponent playing another Gold VS Seeker. 3rd heads for my opponent on that Birch. So it's another Golbat. So my opponent can definitely knock me out, I believe now. What is that, 60? I don't resist it. Yeah, so he needs a Muscle Band to really knock me out, since he will be short 10 since I'm at 110. So my opponent going for Flying Press and missing. Missing out on damage, really. I grabbed another Gengar, so let's see what I want to do. We're going to have to get rid of a lot of this. So let's go ahead and evolve onto our Mega Gengar. Play our Stadium. And let's even give this Gengar an energy and fully power up that one, since we can start attacking pretty hard. Can't do too much else, so let's go ahead and play Sycamore. I would have liked Lysander. There's Lysander, so definitely ready for next turn. My opponent doesn't have any items to start leaving Megaphone away, so let's go ahead and just proceed to knock out. So it would have been nice to get that attack off on Lucario, but hopefully my Mega Gengar can come and take it out. Oh, my opponent judged. Great play on his end. He would have definitely been in trouble next turn. We still ended up grabbing onto a Starling Megaphone and a supporter, so that's not too bad. My opponent played an energy. A tool. What was that, a Muscle Band? Yeah, okay. So let's see. Let's go ahead and set up our Mega Gengar for our knockout. Now, after this Lucario gets knocked out, I won't be able to really use too much. Let's see what I want to do. Yeah, let's go ahead and play another Deoxys and just Birch. We'll hold off onto that. So I got ahead as well, and a good amount of energy. So let's go ahead and start powering up our benched Gengar and just go ahead and use Phantom Gate. And we'll attack with, let's go up. Somersault kick, there it is. So, yep, after weakness, that's a knockout. That's perfect for this Gengar. But definitely, we had the advantage on this one, so it wasn't too fair for our opponent. And my opponent scooped up his Crobat, dropping it again, dropping a total of 60 onto my lead Gengar. Oh, so my opponent might just attack with Howlucha instead of that milk tank in the back. Alright, so my opponent attacking with Flying Press. So he's got 120 damage so far on this Mega Gengar, but I am going to just retreat it out into our regular. I'm even going to hold off to that special energy. Let's put 2 on him now. We can't do too much. Let's go ahead and just retreat into Gengar. And, yep, Dark Corridor for the knockout. And we'll send in Wobbuffet. The bats will still go through Wobbuffet, so Wobbuffet won't really be negating too many abilities. Unless he decides to drop another Shaman on accident. No, he's just gonna go ahead and attack with that. So he's gonna get the knockout. Just enough. So who do we want to send in now? My opponent did play Lucario. Let's see if we can use Lucario. Yep, just use one of their attacks. We're gonna go ahead and send in Mega Gengar and get the knockout. We'll go ahead and tell him GG. Go up and there's a somersault kick. Yep, that was perfect. So we'll go ahead and get another match going for this Mega Gengar. So stay tuned for that, guys. So we didn't mulligan this turn, which is pretty good. And our opponent was running a metal deck. So I'll go ahead and get this started. So it's a Mega Argon. Wow, that's pretty funny. I drew a Gengar. So let's go ahead and get our Gengar going. We'll probably even try to imitate that attack, that Mega Argon's attack. We'll go ahead and play our Stadium just so we can get our attack off. Check the mailbox and another Ultra Ball, which won't hurt. Since we didn't even get any sort of supporter, so let's go ahead and grab a Shaman. We'll hold off onto that Starling Megaphone. Hopefully our opponent attaches a Spirit Link next turn. Okay, we'll go ahead and get our Shaman off for 5. And we draw a pretty good hand. And a Wobbuffet. Still no energy. I'll even hold off on that Muscle Band for now. I want to use Close Encounter to draw some more cards. Yeah, so definitely an older deck, but Mega Gengar actually has new toys with every set that comes out. You know, new Pokemon, new attacks that it can use. You know, now with the Ancient Origins, that Chaos Wheel from Giratina, definitely something funny. But then just things like Mega Rayquaza Dragon, that 300 attack, just so funny to see that being used against our opponent for just like a 2 energy cost and the Stadium Dimension Valley. So my opponent attaches a Steel Energy and he's Ultra Balling, I believe. We'll go ahead and see what he grabs. Alright, a Bronzor. Getting those guys ready. I'm taking a while to decide what he wants to do, so he's gonna play a battle compressor, get a few energies and probably some supporters in there in the discard. Yeah, but a little bit about the deck. It's basically just a Gengar EX, a Gengar Wobbuffet EX, Gengar, yeah. Opponent didn't play any items, so that Muscle Band, I mean the Starling Megaphone is not gonna be too good use right now. I'm not too sure who I want to attach the Muscle Band to. We can already start getting aggressive actually with this Deoxys just to get our opponent a little pressure to kind of knock it out. Just because after that Muscle Band, it starts hitting for 110 in a little bit. And yeah, I'll even hold off on the rest of it. Let's go ahead and just see what Birch is going to get to decide. So it was a head, so we can get a nice good hand. Let's check the mailbox. And we got an Ultra Ball. And that Starling Megaphone. We'll go ahead and grab the Ultra Ball, not to really show our opponent that we have that Starling Megaphone. Hopefully we draw onto it when we need it a little later. Do I want to Mega Evolve just yet? I kind of do, but I'll hold off on it. Let's just go ahead and start attacking with Overdrive Smash. So it is resistant. I think our whole team is going to be resistant. So I believe he had the advantage. So my opponent dropping a double colors and placing that Starling Megaphone. It's definitely needed right now. Alright, so my opponent filling up his bench. We see a Dialga EX and an Aegislash EX coming down, as well as another Argon. My opponent hasn't attached any sort of Spirit Link. He may just hard evolve. So he's going ahead and using an Ultra Ball, probably grabbing some draw support. I see he tossed the Judge. Let's see what other attacks he could have been running that I didn't catch. That's pretty common though. Alright, so he's gonna start accelerating a little bit onto the bench. Let's see who he chooses to go for. We could even, yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start powering up that Gengar on the bench, kind of on the low, and then start attacking with Dialaga's attack. Chrono Wind, yeah, that might be the route I'd choose. So let's go ahead and give this guy an energy, and I really hope he doesn't Judge, but let's not really overdo anything. Have our opponent think that we really can't do much. Maybe even try to Lysander us in. I believe Deoxys can knock this out even after resistance. Yeah, he has 60 HP and I will be hitting for 90, so he really wants to knock this thing out. He's definitely feeling the pressure. Alright, so my opponent powering up that Aegislash. So I really don't want to play a Dark Energy just yet. My opponent still wasn't able to knock out my Deoxys. I'm actually going to go ahead and get that knockout in return. As well as Mega Evolve. You know what? No use in hiding that Mega Gengar anymore. Let's see. And yeah. Deoxys. We'll grab a Mega Gengar. No more Shaymins in there. So we definitely have one of those prized. We'll go ahead and Mega Evolve and let's go ahead and just knock that out with Deoxys. Alright, so Gengar and some more special energies, which is not really what we want, but we're gonna have to start giving them down. Wobbuffet doesn't mind holding on to these special energies, giving them that free retreat cost. Yeah, well, not really free, requires 2 less, but all of these guys have 2 retreat costs, as well as Mega Gengar has 1. I believe regular Gengar has 2. Yeah, regular Gengar has 2. Wobbuffet has 2. And Deoxys has 1, as well as Shaymin. So that's not too bad at all. So my opponent's still powering up that benched Aegislash, and that's all he does. Let's see, I will proceed to knock that out with that. So my opponent definitely having a really hard time really setting up. I actually kind of want to start already attacking with my Mega Gengar just so my opponent really feels that pressure, and I think it'll get a knockout. But this Deoxys is still attacking pretty hard. Let's go ahead and see how many knockouts it can get us. I mean, this Deoxys might even get MVP right now, already claiming half of our prizes. So we found a Shaman, which we really don't need. We have a really, really big hand. My opponent finally sending in that Aegislash, getting ready to attack. Opponent looking for supporter, I'm assuming. Does he have a Spirit Link on that? No, he's a Trick Coin. Wow, so he might be going for the route of hard evolving if he has that Trick Coin, just to kind of not flip the tails. My opponent playing a Heavy Ball, okay. Grabbing a Bronzog. Okay, my opponent accelerating to one of his bench Pokemon. Let's see if it's gonna be that Argon. Yeah, he just went for Argon instead of Dialga. And there's the Slash Blast. Finally knocking out that Deoxys of ours. But let's see what he's gonna decide, what's he gonna be able to do against Mega Gengar after I take that Dialga's attack. Well, actually, I won't skip out on the energy drop. Play my bench Gengar, and I have a lot of VS Seekers, which I kind of want. Let me see, what have I tossed so far? Just a Birchin when I have all that in hand. Let's go ahead and use Phantom Gate, and we'll use Chrono Wind. Really limiting to what our opponent can do. He's gonna want to switch, even though that didn't do too much. Maybe next turn we'll decide to do a stronger attack. I didn't realize it would do so much, but it is resisted as well. Plus I don't have a Muscle Band. How much HP does he have left? 130. Okay, my opponent got a Mega Argon going. So we definitely see that coming down. Can't really do too much still, so you know what, let's knock this thing out. Let's go ahead and use Phantom Gate and Megaton Slam. No, we don't want to risk the biscuit with that. Let's do Full Metal Impact for 130 after resistance. Yeah, and just enough to knock out that Aegislash. My opponent is ready to go with that Mega Argon, so we may be feeling a pretty hard attack. I mean, that will knock out. All it's requiring is a double colorless, so we're in a pretty tight spot facing the heads. And he does have that Trick Coin on it as well, so my opponent kind of feeling pretty good, I'm assuming. He sends in his Bronzog though. It doesn't have any energies or a tool attached to it just yet, to the Float Stone. So we might just let it get knocked out. Oh no, he got the switch. Alright, that's perfect. And he has a Sycamore, so I don't think he's played an energy just yet. Alright, so he has the full attachment. Oh, here comes the Megaton Slam. This is definitely gonna hurt. Oh, and he got the heads. No, that thing is just a monster. Definitely saw that coming. I should have kept attacking with, let's see, who do we want to send in? Let's go ahead and send in Gengar. So that definitely hurt us a lot. Let's go ahead and give Gengar normal energy for now. Whoops, onto Gengar. And we can't Mega Evolve just yet. We'll go ahead and Birch. We want to get a Spirit Link on this thing. That's fine. Just don't get his tails then. Okay, so still not that. We'll go ahead and use Dark Corridor. And that Robo Sub. So my opponent now at 50, turning the tides on us. Pretty close game, 1 to 3 prizes. Luckily we did get the Lysander. But we're really gonna have a hard time KOing anything, even though we do have one. That Bronzong is our main target. But the fact that he resists us is definitely giving us a very hard time. My opponent taking his time, deciding on what he wants to do. So he went for the Steelhead, but let's go ahead and send out that Gengar one more time. So my opponent taking a total of 60 damage. We got a Muscle Band. That's not too bad. Let's see if we can even attack with Psychic Assault. It'll do 60, 70, 30, around 80. My opponent, is that what we want to do? Because we really do need to buy some time. Let's go ahead and play another Birch after attaching that Muscle Band. So another Tails from that Birch, and still no Muscle Band. I mean Spirit Link. I haven't put an Energy. I'm gonna go ahead and retreat. Yeah, let's just go for the Psychic Assault. Oh no, I need a Stadium. So my opponent now at 140 HP. He's taking that much damage. Playing another Battle Compressor. So we're down to our last few Pokemon. I don't know how we're working on this Mega Argon still. We should have kept attacking it with that Chrono Wind. But, you know, sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, and this biscuit is slipping away right now. My opponent going for the Lysander, I believe. He pulled out that Gengar. And he went for Megaton Slam one more time. Tails. No, so there. Oh, he went for the. He got it. Oh, that thing is paying off for him. It's that coin. What is that trick coin? This guy is a genius. Just a genius. Let's go ahead and send in that Wobbuffet. See if we can get one more good attack off with him. Let's go ahead and do Psychic Assault. And was it enough? Just enough. And so that's GG. Definitely a very strong deck. Very hard time with that one. There's that final Spirit Link that we're looking for in the prize section the whole time. Mega Gengar wanted to come out so bad. So hopefully you guys are liking the content we're bringing you guys so far. Make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. This is Blue signing out.